So Jennifer, what do we have in store for 5.8G Alive today?
All right, so as the audience, you know, 5.8G Alive has 3 segments. The first segment we have being in tune, living a fulfilled life. And I will tell you when I get on about what's going to happen on that segment, because we are in the third aspect of it, which is about your soul. Then we move into a second segment, and that is being dollar savvy, Terry.
Claiming your worth, your worth. And as Jen said, we in 3 parts. So in this final part, we have a guest, and we had that conversation a little earlier, and we're talking about being organized. So you need to really stay tuned and join in.
Yeah, and the third segment is about being in a tribe, enjoying community, and it's all about you. You know, you out there, how we can really come together and just enjoy being in a community.
Great, great. So Jennifer, let me then, without further ado, we're going into our first segment. Being in tune. Find instruments like the human body and mind need to be in tune. So have a good time with Jennifer. Get to living a fulfilled life. Great.
Thank you, Terry Ann. So, our followers, listen. We spoke all about your mind, you know, being very positive. So that was the first session. And last week, which was the second session, we had our guest, Maria Elias Smith. And Maria, who is our associate, also is a nutritionist, a dietitian, and a personal trainer. And Maria spoke about moving your body, especially at this time when most of us are at home. Maria helped us, you know, showed some exercises where we could continue to move our body without even using our equipment. And then she showed us a breathing exercise, which would help us in terms of being more relaxed. Okay, so I said mind, body, and soul. So this session is all about soul. And when I speak about your soul, I am not speaking about spirituality here. It's not about your spirit. It's about the essence of who you are. It's about more character. And I would say those of us who are 50 plus, which many of us, our audience, 50 plus, you may recall it may be still happening that you would overhear someone referring to a friend or family member, and they will say, you know, that person is such a great soul. They're kind soul or wonderful soul. And when you hear that remark, you may immediately think that, okay, that's somebody very kind, very generous. That's a person who maybe bring happiness to others. And it's somebody you may want around you because that's a kind and wonderful soul. You may also hear that they refer to someone else and say, oh gosh, poor soul, meaning really that person don't have it together, you know, going through maybe a rough time, etc. And so I would ask you, have you ever thought of, you know, going within and checking out your soul in terms of your spirit, your being? What sort of vibrations that you give off? So what would someone say about you? And this is what I want you to ask yourself. You know, what would a friend say looking at you? Would they say, you are a good soul, you are a kind soul, or may they just say, poor soul? So basically, this is where I'm going when I'm talking about your soul. At this time, we are, and as I mentioned earlier, especially, well, most of us in the Caribbean right now, going through some sort of curfew, as we refer to as being locked down. And you may be, so you're at home, and you're at home now with family members that you haven't been haven't gotten used to being among them for such long periods. So you find there are a lot of they may have a lot of chaos happening. You may recognize or some traits in others that you may think, okay, I didn't even know they were like that, etc., etc. So what do you do at this stage? And this is coming back to your soul, your being. It is a really opportune time for you to start examining yourselves, to look at your characteristics, I would say. And to do that, it is important for us to understand who we are. You know, the traits we have, whether it's a good trait or bad traits, but recognize it, because we may be also contributing to that chaos. And when I say that, for instance, that there is a saying, and we say it a lot in Trinidad, I must say, is that person getting on your nerve, meaning that you don't like the way they may behave, you don't like certain aspects of who they are. So to help, because we have to live in that household, whether we like that person or not, whether they're getting on our nerves or not, we need to live and try to live as happy and be very accommodative as we can. As for 50+ tribe, we are considered, I mean, we may not like to hear it, but we are considered the elders. We are expected to set the example. We are expected to set that tone, to help calm things, to make things better. So to do that, we need to examine who we are. We need to go within. What type of person are you? What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want to do in life? So I said, this is a time, as much as we are very anxious and nervous and want this to finish, look at this other side of it. This is a time to bring family together, to have an understanding, to discuss the way forward. And when I say the way forward, for you to start the discussion after you examine yourself, after you know, okay, this is who I am, this is what I would like to do, then you can open up the conversation and help each other have some more understanding, have some empathy, you know, be able to give some guidance. And as I mentioned that, during this time also, we at our age group, we very much aware of mortality, because we are hearing every day, we get in these reports of so many deaths, etc. So I think it's only natural for us to get a bit anxious. But I want you to turn that anxiety into a more positive way of thinking, meaning that start to consider what sort of legacy you would like to leave. What would you like? Again, I'm going back to you being your soul. What would you like your family members to be? What would you like to leave for them? And when I say that, I am not talking about financial legacy here. I'm talking maybe about your values, what gifts you can, and I'm saying gifts meaning your own talents, and that is when I refer to gifts, I refer to your talents. What can you at this time pass on? And we are very experienced people right now. Some of us have already left the workplace, but just being at this age, we have gained a lot of experience. We have a lot of expertise, a lot of skills that we could share and we could offer. But because everybody has been so busy within the household, those who may be still at school, whether it's university, tertiary education, etc., those who have been working, so everybody in the household have been busy, more, as we say, more out than in. Now you have everyone together. This is a good time for us to pass on, share some of our knowledge, our skills, things that they may be able to use to help them. Take the opportunity to do something active with those at home and share some ideas. But remember, before you do that, you have to examine your soul. All right? So let's look at when I refer to is moving mind, body, and soul, but I wouldn't say this segment is moving your soul. It's more about the vibrations, about how do you fuel your soul. And I would say that all the way you feel, your feelings, your behavior, your thoughts, which all go back to mind and mindfulness. The way you treat people, you're being kind, all these great attributes contribute, fuel your soul. So start to think of the ways you can fuel your soul. So take some time. You have time, eh? You have time now. Yes, the house may be a bit crowded or a bit noisy, but you can carve out some space, maybe get up very, very early when everybody's sleeping, or stay up late when they go to bed. Find the best time for you to be quiet and start to think and, fill yourself up with the positives. So this is that, and during that quiet time, check yourselves. Say, tell yourself, what do I really want to leave as a legacy? And how can I do that? Remember, this is not costing you anything. All it is you taking time out to find yourself and to decide how you can contribute to having a more positive family life, to be a more positive person, a happier person, one who, it is said, when you give, you get. It's not that you're going to be given to get, but it makes you feel good. Think about it. When you make a contribution and it is you give some advice and that person take your advice and it works positive for them, how do you feel? You feel very good. So this is the time for you first to sit and check out. And you could make some notes, you could record it, you could do, as I always say, you do a vision board, anything that could keep your mind very focused. And the focus is, how do I deposit good out there? What can I do? And that for me is how you can fuel your soul. And I can tell you, when you do that and you have the others looking in at what you're doing and see that it's only a lot of positive, and what you're really trying to do is make them feel better, uplift them. That's really what you're doing. You're going to be feeling good and they will be feeling good. And that is how I see fueling your soul, sending out the positive vibrations just within the household, and being very, having that high energy at this time when it is very, very, anxious. People very anxious. Okay, so I just want here to end with some, just tips and go back again, starting with the mind, body, and soul, to remind you about your mind, to remove all the negative energies, and they're coming at us fast and furious every day, all through. So choose sometimes, not, what you have to do it. You don't need to read all the other negatives that is going on. Find ways to be positive. Check yourself, be honest with yourself to say, well, okay, I really have certain traits that maybe I should consider changing my behavior. So that's in terms of your mind, staying positive, removing yourself from that negative environment, not call people who are going to give you all the sad stories. So that's more or less with your mind. On your body, of course, do what Maria suggested. Look for the exercises you can do now that we're at home. Go on YouTube and find whatever. It could be dance, walking, whatever you like to do. There are programs that you can do. Keep your body moving. Breathe, because breathing is so important right now to keep us, to release stress and anxiety. Again, they have those breathing exercises you can try, and coming down to your soul. And your soul is really your being, the essence of who you are. And ask yourself, who do you want to be? And write down the things to do. We are not too old. Actually, we may have had some very bad habits, baggage that we brought on to the third stage. And it's time that we release the baggage. This COVID-19 has really made a big difference to all of our lives. Let's not go down. Let's not have it take us down any further. To rise above what is happening, we have to use our minds and be very positive, and we have to nourish our soul with very, with good works, I would say. So that's it for now. We're coming to mind, body, and soul. I wish you well. And of course, I look forward to just send me little notes, make some suggestions. What else could be done? Let's get together and ensure that we support each other during this time. Okay.